Thank you. Thank you all. Wow, this is a fabulous sight. Thank you all for coming. Now, thank you. Now, I did get a call from Senator Feingold. He's very gracious. He offered us congratulations and offered to help in the transition. And I certainly wished him well. We all wish him well. But we do. Now, I've got a few thousand people to thank here. I won't go by name. First of all, I want to thank Tom for the fine introduction and Tony. And I also like to say thank you, Carrie, for singing the national anthem. I can actually sing along. But I want to thank Tom and his family for doing such a fine job and contributing to both Oshkosh and the state of Wisconsin. I'd like to thank my parents. My mother's no longer with me, but my father's here tonight on the stage. I'm very grateful. My parents instilled in me the values that brought me to this moment, and I'm sure the values that will carry me well into the next chapter of my life here. I'd like to thank my family, my wife Jane, Carrie, Jenna, Ben, and our extended family. They've given me the support I've needed these last 6 months because they are every bit as concerned about what's happening in this country as I am, so I need their support, and it was there. A huge thank you to my campaign team. They are just a fine bunch of individuals led by a fine man, Mr. Justin Johnson. I'm new to this process. I cannot believe how hard these people work, almost 24/7. And I'm just blown away by their dedication. I thank them sincerely. I also need to thank all the thousands of volunteers in the state party. There's absolutely no way somebody like myself, 6 months ago I was a full-time business person, there's no way a citizen candidate and now a citizen legislator can enter this arena without having the backing of a strong state party led by Reince Priebus. And the over 14,000 volunteers that manned the phone banks, put up signs, knocked on doors, and just did a tremendous amount of voter contact and got us to where we are here today, so thank you very much. We also were able to garner over 40,000 friends on Facebook, and that makes a difference. I also want to thank the hundreds of thousands of people that exercise their right of freedom by voting today. I not only want to thank the folks that voted for me, but I also want to say I understand that being a U.S. Senator from the state of Wisconsin, I know what an honor that is. And I understand now I represent all the citizens of Wisconsin. And I want everyone to know I take that responsibility very seriously. So tonight we can celebrate, but tomorrow we start the hard work. Our nation has dug itself a very deep hole. You know, and we're just simple Wisconsin folks here. We know what needs to be done if you're trying to get out of a deep hole. You first have to start digging. But the numbers are quite staggering. You know them. The last 2 years we've incurred over a $1.4 trillion a year deficit. Our national debt now stands at almost $14 trillion. 15 million people are out of work. We need to reverse course. You know, my campaign has really been pretty simple because I think the priority is pretty straightforward. It's not going to be easy, it's going to be hard. But we know what we need to do. We need to restore fiscal sanity to this nation. Certainly one of the ways we can restore fiscal sanity is to repeal the health care bill, which will not only save us trillions of dollars in deficit, but it will destroy our health care system if we don't repeal it. So, you know, throughout this campaign, I've been reminded frequently of, remember that gal in the Arlen Specter town hall meeting? She said, "You've awakened a sleeping giant." Well, I certainly got awake. And it was when they passed the health care bill. That was the final straw. But it started a little bit earlier. It started a few days before the 2008 election when I heard President Obama say, within 5 days we're going to fundamentally transform America. You know what? I certainly wasn't looking to transform America. I wanted to fix its problems. I did not want to transform America. I believe America is precious, and it is exceptional. Now, something else President Obama said kind of also got my attention. This is when he was trying to pass this health care monstrosity. He said, you know, these doctors, they'll take out a set of tonsils for a few extra bucks. No, they won't. No, they won't. Phenomenal doctors saved my daughter's life. They've saved countless lives. They don't do that, and that was an outrage. And now I guess if we disagree with $3 trillion in deficit spending, we're the enemy. Well, I'll tell you what, that's the wrong attitude if you're trying to fix our problems. And I'll tell you that's not the attitude I'm going to take. I'm going to be looking for allies. And I will be looking for any ally who understands that we simply cannot continue to spend and spend and spend our nations into bankruptcy. I will work with anyone. I will work with anyone who realizes that it is the free market system that creates long-term, self-sustaining jobs. That realizes we need to reignite this economy if we're going to create jobs. That's what we have to do. And I will work with anyone who believes it is freedom and the free market system that made America great. One promise I made at the convention, and I repeat it daily, is I will never vote with my re-election in mind. That's not why I'm doing this. I will vote with what I believe is in the best interest of Wisconsin and America, and that's my guarantee. Now, as I said, we have awakened a sleeping giant, but the problem is our nation's dug itself a very deep hole, and it's going to take time and perseverance. It's not just this election. It's going to take a few more elections. So we've got to stick to this. And my purpose here isn't to depress you. I'm seeing some long faces here, so I've kind of closed out my campaign by telling a story that I think will inspire you and prove to you that we can do this. And this is a story I heard shortly after the start of the Second Iraq War. And it was told by a reporter that was embedded with the troops. Back when the only way he could communicate back to America was by satellite phone. And this reporter had 30 minutes of satellite time left, and he was offering it to the troops. So he goes up to the first soldier, explains the situation, asks, is there anybody you'd like to talk to? And the first soldier said, boy, I'd like to talk to my girlfriend. Thought about it a split second and said, you know what? My buddy's wife is pregnant. Why don't you let him use the phone? The reporter thought that was pretty nice, so he goes over to the other soldier and says, I hear your wife's pregnant. Would you like to give her a call? That soldier said, sir, there's nothing I'd rather do than talk to my wife. But my master sergeant's father's ill. He's not doing well. Why don't you let him use the 30 minutes? Now, to tell you the truth, I can't remember the exact circumstances or how many soldiers passed that phone to a buddy. But I distinctly remember that by the time that reporter was done telling that tale, he was having a very difficult time telling the story. And about all he could really do was, with his voice cracking, he just kind of looked down his mic and he murmured, "Where do we find such men?" I think we know. They come from Oshkosh. They come from Fond du Lac. They come from Superior. They come from Kenosha and Hudson and Green Bay and Platteville. They come from all over Wisconsin. They come from all over America. So the one thought I want you all leaving here with tonight is that the American spirit is alive. It may not be doing well right now. It may be under attack. It may be imperiled. But it is our job, it is our duty to make sure it not only survives for future generations, but that it thrives. And in the end, that is why one guy from Oshkosh, a husband and a father, stepped up to the plate, decided to run for the U.S. Senate. And I have to tell you, this campaign has been a joyful experience. I have met wonderful people. I have visited successful businesses. I have shaken the hands of thousands of hardworking Wisconsinites. It has given me the confidence, and I want you to have the confidence, that together we can do this. We can bring back Wisconsin, and we can bring back America. So let me end with just a very simple prayer. May God bless our efforts, and may God continue to bless the greatest nation in the history of mankind, America. Thank you all. God bless you.